Are you a Clash Royale fan and searching for a Clash Royale clone? And are you a massive variable in a World War II internet story? If your answer is yes, then this game is for you. Hey, welcome to the Marco Polo chat. If you're new in this channel, hello, my name is Marco. And never mind, Paul's dead. Again, if you're new, hit the subscribe button. We'll be making a lot of this in the future. Now before we start, this review will follow these three categories on identifying the key components of a game. One is gameplay, second is sound, and lastly, the graphics. Let's get into the video. Road to Valor World War II is a tower rush defense game published by crafted and developed by Dreammotion after the success of now famous mobile game Clash Royale. Well, of course, on every successful game titles, there's always that one company that will try to imitate a famous video game. So, since the Road to Valor is a Clash Royale clone, the question would be, what makes Road to Valor stand out as a unique Clash Royale clone compared to any Clash Royale clone on the market? That is where we follow the three categories. And firstly, we have the gameplay of the game. Road to Valor follows a very simple win condition, which copies from Clash Royale. Whoever destroys the central building or the headquarters wins the game, or annihilating or destroying one or two side buildings or bunkers more than your enemy wins the match. The game has four factions. One is the US, the second was the Soviet Union, third was the Wehrmacht, and the Ausheer. Moving on, you have four active skill sets, which you'll unlock by leveling and equipping only two of them on a match. Each of those factions has their own unique set of troop cards, active skills, and passive effects. While in battle, your commander earns command points, which can be used to activate your skills, and using those skills to turn the tides of battle. Before we proceed, I'm just gonna show you a quick footage of me playing the game.
Werfer bereit. Wir sind bereit.
Auf in den Kampf!
Beginn des Beschusses.
Spread out! Spread out!
Also, I forgot to mention that the game offers three types of game mode. One is a classic rank battle where you climb through leaderboards. Second is WW2, which is self-explanatory. And lastly, the challenges. In challenges, it has three types of game mode, which rotates every weekend and only be played using coins gathered from the chests. First of the challenges is called the Panzer Ace, which is just you versus the team, and you can only control the tank by tapping on the screen in order for it to move and shoot, which also you need to survive for 5 rounds against enemies. The second challenge is called Total War. What makes it different is that your MP's maximum storage is 50, and every minute the game gives you 25 for you to deploy whatever your heart desire. Also, it selects a random unit in the deck, which makes you deploy it several times, so be careful of picking that card though. And lastly, the defense base. In this challenge, your troops won't move forward, unless you point it where it should deploy. The winning condition is simple. Survive for 5 rounds until your headquarters is overrun. The enemy can only send troops every round, and every round it becomes more dangerous, so be sure to plan out your defense though. Do you hear that? That is the sound of every Verabus veteran. Now, before you cry, I just want to point out that I'm no professional music critic. I'm just a guy who appreciates music, and everyone likes their own styles, right? But I just want to say that the music of this game is fantastically well made. To the point, each of the factions feels very different from one another. We have the US Army, which sounds like an actual deliverance of freedom. Take a good listen to this. The Soviet sounds like an obvious troop spam. The both of the German factions, both factions sound like an intense and serious gameplay for these two German factions, giving military marches vibe or orchestra thingy. I don't know. Anyway, they are all beautiful, and 4 of the factions in are greatly composed. Also, you might have noticed it by now, that the voice lines of them troop cards using are as perfect as you think. I could say this is like Company of Heroes level of voice acting for the unit cards. Anyway, here's a gameplay footage without the music background.
Wir müssen ausrücken.
Make it through. Tiger, bereit für die Schlacht.
Nummer 10.
Tiger, ich erledige das.
Stalina! Wir sind bereit.
And talking about the sound effects of the game, it's a well made, although some are reused, but come on, it's a mobile game anyways. And I think combining all of them gives me a complete vibe of playing Company of Heroes Royale, even though it doesn't actually exist. You know, well, this game exists. I mean, if you're a huge player of Company of Heroes, you will understand the destruction, the sound effects of explosions, and men fighting for their lives. It's all coming together, to be honest. And from my point, the company did a massive great job for the soundtracks and the sound production.
Volker Tobe, sichte sie. Auf in den Kampf!
Wir müssen ausrücken. Denk nicht einmal an Schlaf, was wir antworten.
Tiger, ich erledige dich. Werde den Kampf beenden.
Ein Ziel.
Volker an der Spitze.
Make it through. Soldaten, volle Konzentration auf den Angriff. sind bereit. Denkt ihr einmal an Schlaf, bis wir ankommen.
Auf in den Kampf! Die Marder an die Spitze!
Volle Konzentration auf den Angriff.
Ich erledige das.
Uns ein Ziel. Denk nicht einmal an Schlaf, bis wir ankommen.
Danke.
Now let's talk about the graphics of this game. As you can see, it is very well polished and realistic. It has a unique art style which depicts of war and grittiness. And it is very refreshing to see a Computer Heroes vibes of art style. You can see the references and inspiration coming from the game to the models of this game. And what makes these graphics more appealing are the animations and the destructions, and also effects. It's very satisfying to take out tanks and vehicles. Explosions do make infantry blown away, and these smaller details and animations makes the fight more appealing. Although you don't really notice it much because of the match and destruction. But overall, I could really say the models and the animations for this game is superb and a classic gem. Also, don't forget the unit card arts. As an artist, oh my god, as a self-proclaimed artist, the art style is beautiful as you think. The commander's portrait shows the personality and great expressions, which is very wonderful and creative. And it's a very nice touch to do it in 2D instead of using 3D models as portraits. And it is really a nice touch to show what they are all capable of because of the way they were drawn, and thus a total expressive of every cards in the game. In conclusion, Road to Valor World War II is a Clash Royale clone, but I don't think it's a clone up to this point. With all of the new mechanics introduced, like dragging the deployment of the cards. All in all, it's a fun experience, and the game lets you change factions in order for you to try new things and strategies from different factions. The gameplay and its mechanics are fresh and new, realistic graphics and very entertaining battles. Overall, this is the game that you could find fun for the entire week the moment you've discovered this because of how polished and dedicated the developers to the game. Although it can't match the intensified and thrilling soundtrack like Clash Royale, this game is different, for it shows how grim and gritty war would be. Although it's a game, it's still fascinating for a mobile game to reach this kind of quality. And before you ask this question, yes, the game is very worth it of your time. Thanks for watching. Hi, Marco here. This is my first time doing game reviews, so I want to hear your thoughts on this video. It's not perfect, I know. I just wanted to try something new because I just wanted to try things that I've watched on YouTube for the last decade of watching YouTube. So yeah, if you find this video helpful, hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you for watching.